always talking about Gen AI, generative artificial intelligence. But I want to talk about the Gen AI that actually lives inside your head, your generative automatic intelligence. Your automatic brain is like your own personal mental ChatGPT. All the circumstances going on around you, those are the prompts. Conversations, emails, documents, that thing your boss said to you, that weird look on your spouse's face, your kid's daycare calling and saying you have to come pick them up. All of those are prompts that are getting entered into your mental ChatGPT. Now, with real ChatGPT, you, the user, can decide whether or not to hit enter on a prompt. The bot just stays idle until you decide that it should start working. With your mental ChatGPT, you, the user, do not get to decide whether or not to hit enter on a prompt. Your automatic brain never sits idle. Instead, your automatic brain sees all those circumstances, all those prompts, and it hits enter on all of them, constantly and automatically. And once your mental ChatGPT has hit enter on a prompt or on a circumstance, it uses all its pre-training, aka its past experience, to decide how to interpret that circumstance. Your boss said, "We need to talk tomorrow." Your brain's interpretation is, "I'm in trouble for something." Your spouse made a weird face when you mentioned your weekend plans. Your brain's interpretation is, "Oh, they never want to do anything." Your kid's daycare calls you and says that they need to be picked up. Your brain's interpretation is, "Oh, my day is totally thrown off now." And then your mental ChatGPT generates more outputs based on that initial interpretation. It generates three kinds of outputs. First, it generates emotions. These could be things like, "I'm afraid of what my boss wants to talk to me about." "I'm frustrated with my spouse." "I'm annoyed at the daycare." Your brain also generates additional analysis. These could be things like, "Well, what am I in trouble with my boss about?" It could be X, it could be Y, it could be Z. Or your brain might say, "You know what else is frustrating about my spouse? They also never took care of that chore, and they also forgot about my birthday," etc., etc. Or that additional analysis might be, "Well, if I have to leave work early to pick up my kid, then that project is going to get behind and I'm not going to be able to attend that meeting. And when am I going to look at my emails?" And the last kind of output that your mental ChatGPT generates is an action plan on how to deal with the circumstance. These might be things like, "Okay, let me stay late at work today and start fixing whatever I think my boss is mad about." Or, "Let me snap at my spouse to let them know that I'm annoyed at them." Or, "Let me ping my admin, reschedule that meeting, and see if I can take care of some emails in the car." Now, all of this happens very, very fast. In less than a second, your mental ChatGPT goes from perception of the circumstance to interpretation of the circumstance to generation of outputs to deal with that circumstance. That's the emotion, the analysis, and the action plan. In less than a second, your mental ChatGPT generates a ton of outputs. Now, here's the thing. With real ChatGPT, you can just stop looking at the outputs anytime you want. You, the user, can close the tab, you can close your eyes, you can just decide not to read the outputs, even while they're sitting right there in front of you. But with your mental ChatGPT, it's a lot harder to get away from the outputs. You, the user, you can't not feel the emotion. You can't not hear all those thoughts that contain your brain's additional analysis. You can't not feel the urge to follow your brain's action plan. And when all those outputs get overwhelming, it can end up feeling pretty hard to live with your mental ChatGPT. So here's what we do in coaching. We teach you how to work effectively with your mental ChatGPT. You'll learn how to get your brain to give you new outputs. You'll learn how to craft effective prompts to redirect your mental ChatGPT. You'll learn how to update the logic and pre-training inside that mental ChatGPT. You'll learn how to passively feed new data into your mental ChatGPT. And you'll learn how to just turn it off and turn it on again, and just kind of give it a reset when it needs one. You'll also learn how to find the wisdom and insight in your mental ChatGPT's current outputs. Because sometimes your brain isn't wrong. Very, very often, its outputs contain a nugget of truth or a little glimmer of wisdom, and you just have to find the diamond in the rough and figure out what you want to do with it. You'll also learn how to help your mental ChatGPT reprogram itself, because you don't have to do it all by yourself. You can actually just tell your brain, hey, please look at these outputs you've been giving me and tell me how you would change them or improve them. Just like how you can tell real ChatGPT, hey, please look at these outputs that you've been giving me and tell me how you would change them or improve them. But most importantly of all, you will learn how to befriend your mental ChatGPT because it's not going anywhere. You and your brain are co-pilots for life. Your automatic brain is the only thing in the world that is with you from the day you're born until the day you die. And we're going to make this the best relationship in your life. All of this is what you'll learn how to do in my course and coaching program. I'll teach you the how to do all this in the course lessons. I'm available for coaching every single week to help you apply these concepts to your life. And you can listen to me coach everyone else in the program and see tons of examples of different ways that you can do all of this. So join the program waitlist today at the link above.